I'm Florence Miera, and I'm a social worker for Taos schools, and I also work with the homeless population. So when I first started, I think there were identified maybe up to like 30 homeless students, and as I started just talking a little bit more and identifying who the homeless kids were, what I discovered is that many of the students in Taos that are considered homeless are doubled up. So what that means is that they live with their grandparents, maybe an uncle or an aunt, maybe they're living like in the backyard in a tent. But the more I looked, the more we're seeing. I work with pre-K all the way to high school, and when I see the high school kids, I'm just impressed by them, knowing that sometimes they didn't have a place to sleep. They have taught me a lot in that education is super important, and that's what I try to teach them. Like, you can be anything you want to be. You can overcome this. You know, I have family too. Within the last 3 years, when I first started this program, I thought I didn't know anyone, but the more I know the definition of homelessness, the more I realize there are a lot of people in this community who basically live doubled up with a family member because of the price of housing, rent. You know, I have family members right now who can't afford their own place. So what I have seen as far as Taos, I think there's a misconception that a lot of the people that are homeless are drifters, come in from other places, but that's not what I see. I have met amazing organizations, Dream Tree, who houses our teenagers, Heart of Taos, who takes in family, CAV. You know, there's a lot of organizations here, so I can't say that no one is really helping. However, it's just getting worse and worse, and now there's waiting lists. So I do think that we need to recognize what's going on here and really support these families. So I ended up losing my home and had to start all over. I hit rock bottom, and I mean, as you see, this home right now is beautiful, and I have worked really, really hard, but I've had to work up to 5 jobs at a time to make ends meet. And I did tell you, like, my daughter moved back from Albuquerque, and then, you know, there's all these different situations, and as you've seen on my little compound here, that there's a few little shacks. And so I do have a bed in each of them because I have family members that sometimes don't have a place to sleep. So I've opened up my property and my little place for that, knowing that there's such a need because of COVID. I definitely get anywhere from 2 to 5 students more a week. So now I'm dealing with a lot more mental health issues, domestic violence, evictions, people who are sick and possibly have COVID, who have been displaced. And the hardest piece about that is, number one, they were already hard to connect to, because where are they? How do you find them? Like I said, about, I would say 80% are doubled up. One of the good parts of what has happened with COVID and the Taos School District is that every student has a computer, every student has hotspot. So we're able to get online and connect, but the numbers are going up. So it is a problem. And one of the things that I have learned being in the schools, because now it's like 14 years, and every student I meet, I'm like, they're the unsung heroes. Like, really, those kids are amazing that they could come to school despite what has happened that night in their home. Sometimes they can't focus, but they show up, and they're the ones that are there every week. And if we could all just take a look at that, I was one of those students. I lost my dad very young. My mom ended up getting stage 4 cancer when I was a teenager, and I felt displaced a lot. I felt like people do not understand me. They don't understand my family, and I think that still happens. So I think the biggest message is stop and hear people's stories. And we're all different. And that's what makes the world go round.